Hey guys, welcome to our first ever video. And for our first guest ever, we have Miss Coleman.
Hi guys.
So, Miss Coleman, what was your first ever job anywhere?
So if you want to be technical, I did work for my dad's company. He owns a plastics company or owned a plastics company in Gallatin. But I don't really count that because I don't know that a family member can really be your boss. So my first real job, I was a host at N.O. Charlie's. And that was very interesting.
Fun.
Yeah.
So, what made you decide to become a teacher?
I always really wanted to be a teacher. I was always that person making my friends be my students. And I loved expo markers, and I really just wanted to write all day with expo markers. But I also loved tutoring and loved helping people and loved being able to answer questions. So it was really always a thought in my mind. It was never really anything else that came to me.
Gotcha. But why an English teacher? Was that just your best subject?
I was between English and math. I was really good at both. Honestly, in high school, I was probably better at math. It's only when I got to college and majored in English that I got better at English. But I just love books and I love reading, and I think I'm really good at grammar. So by the time I was about halfway through college is when my English skills really came, improved, and then my math skills really declined because I didn't take any math classes. But no, I just really love English and love books.
That's great. So, Ms. Coleman, what was your first ever job teaching?
So I did student teaching. So I student taught at Hillsborough High School near Green Hills. And then I student taught at Hendersonville High School, and then I got a job at Hendersonville High School. So it was really nice because the grade that I student taught in was juniors, and I got hired as a junior teacher. So I already had a semester of practice and being mentored. So I seamlessly kind of moved into Hendersonville High School.
That's great. Is that your favorite grade?
Actually, I go back and forth. I used to say juniors were my favorite. And then at Hendersonville, I got moved down to freshmen. And they were actually, for the first year, they were kind of cute and childish, but then it kind of wore on me. So after the second year, I said I would never teach freshmen again. And then they unexpectedly at Liberty Creek put me with sophomores, which I had never taught before, and I was very unsure about it. But I think it's now my favorite grade. It's kind of that mix between the childish qualities of a freshman and then juniors who think they're too adult and, they're grown. So it's kind of that really good in between. And I feel like kids between 9th and 10th grade mature so much that it's just a huge difference when I see them, causing a ruckus in the hallways as freshmen versus sophomores. They're just calmer. So I kind of like sophomores, unexpectedly.
So, Ms. Coleman, since it's the spooky season, what's the best song to play at Halloween?
Okay, let's see. So I'm a musical person. So I love musicals. And so probably any Halloween movie that has a song in it, I will love. So like Hocus Pocus, I Put a Spell on You. I listen to that any season. I think it always hits. And then like Nightmare Before Christmas, the first song, This Is Halloween. It's so great. So those are the Halloween songs I love. I know they're probably not the most classic, but I don't know. I just love them so much.
No, those are great. Yeah, I would totally agree. All right, now we're going to move on to a game where Ms. Coleman is going to guess if these horror stories are real or fake.
Okay, I feel like I'll either be really good at this or really bad at this.
Okay, the first one is called the Axe Murder House.
Okay.
In Villisca, Iowa, there's an axe murder house that got its name from an unsolved murder in 1912 of a family of 8. The crime took place at precisely 12:45 a.m., leaving all members of the family with a deep crack in their heads. The house was turned into a hotel where in 2014, a tourist named Robert Larson was stabbed in the chest by a self-inflicted wound during his stay at the house at precisely 12:45 a.m. Is it real or fake?
I'm gonna, that's a big coincidence. I'm gonna say it's real though.
It is real.
Oh my God, yay.
Good job, good job. Okay. All right. Ghost story number 2. All right, this one's called The Cursed Children. Last year in Indianapolis, an almost 800-page report was published documenting a family who was terrorized by 3 children. The report used interviews by police officers, psychologists, family members, and a priest. The children were documented to walk on walls, get thrown across rooms, and threaten others with deep, unnatural voices.
I'm pretty sure that's a movie, but I don't know if the movie is based off of something real. I'm going to say fake.
It's real.
Oh, darn it.
All right, the next one. This one is called The Haunted Suit of Armor. In 1969, in Coolsville, California, a man was walking home with his dog and saw a pickup truck driven by a headless suit of armor. An additional 3 other people also witnessed the strange sight. It was later discovered that the truck and the armor were supposed to be en route to the museum by a professor who worked there. However, the professor was never seen nor heard of again.
That's got to be fake. Is it real?
It's the first episode of Scooby-Doo.
Oh my God, thank goodness. So it's fake. Okay.
Yeah. Good job. All right, tonight is Halloween, and so you guys are definitely going to be watching some scary movies. So, Ms. Coleman, what are the top 5 best scary movies?
That is a terrible question. It's so hard to answer. I'm going to give my 5, but I feel like in 20 minutes I will regret everything that I said. In no particular order, because I could never do that. I love It. I think it's so scary. I love Scream. It's not scary, but I just think it's a quality horror movie with a little bit of comedy in there. Yeah, classic. I watch it probably every Halloween. I love Smile. Have y'all seen Smile? Oh my gosh, it's so creepy. They're just staring at you and smiling, and honestly, that's the scariest thing ever. It's just when somebody's staring at you and not blinking and just grinning. And then Smile 2 is about to come out. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. The Strangers is another one. I love when, well, this is going to sound really bad. I love when people are terrorizing people. I think it's scarier than, for example, like a paranormal clown, like from It. Like I think The Strangers is scarier because that's realistic. And then my last one is Us, like Jordan Peele's Us. I thought that was so well done and it was so creepy. So those are my 5 at this very moment. But I'm sure I missed some. I mean, I missed some really good ones, like classics like Halloween or like Nightmare on Elm Street. So, but yeah, I'm sticking with those right now.
Gotcha. If you're not aware, Ms. Coleman is a professional ghost hunter, and she goes into places and she gets some ghosts. Ms. Coleman, what's been your most intense personal encounter with a ghost?
I will never forget this story in this moment. So it was a friend of a friend, and she lived on a really secluded farm in Kentucky. So there was a house and then the barn. And her husband had died, had killed himself in the barn. And she was wanting to sell the farm and move. She couldn't handle the entire farm on her own, but she was afraid that her husband was still there, like still lingering. So she knew I ghost hunted, so she asked me to come out and like investigate. So I went out with a couple people. We put some cameras and speakers and everything, recorders in the house, and then some in the barn, which it was like a garage and everything. So it's where the husband really spent a lot of his time. He liked to tinker with cars and fix them. And of course, again, that's where he died. So we figured that would be the most activity. So we're in the house, nothing's happening. We put the cameras in the barn, and suddenly the cameras malfunction. So we have to walk across the yard to get to the barn. We fix the cameras that also have audio to them. We're walking back from the barn to the house. We're in the middle of between both, and we listen to the cameras. You can hear someone working on cars. Like every sound you'd imagine, the clinking of tools, the shuffling of feet on the dirty garage floor. Even, when you hurt yourself and you like, or some people hurt themselves and they mutter a curse word under their breath, you could hear that. You could hear muttering. And I could feel the blood just like drain from my face because I've never heard anything like that. And it aligned to everything he was. So we gather ourselves and we decide to walk to the barn. And I'm listening through my phone to the camera just to see if it's picking up anything that I can't hear. We walk into the barn, dead silence. You can't hear anything with your ears. I couldn't hear anything through the phone. It's quiet. As soon as we leave, the noise picks right back up again. He is working on his car in that barn. It's the clearest thing I've ever heard. So we told his wife, like, yeah, he's still there. He's still doing something that he loves. So yeah, I mean, that was the most evidence of anything I've ever gotten.
Wow.
Yeah, it was eerie.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching Best Teacher Ever. And thank you to Miss Coleman for showing up on episode number 1.
Oh my gosh, so exciting. Thank you for having me. This was so fun.
All right. You guys have a nice Halloween.
Bye, guys.